Christopher Kelsall here with Athletics Illustrated in an interview with Genevieve Lalonde. Jen has represented Canada during the 2016 Rio Olympics. She has competed at the World Championships 3 times and has won gold at the 2019 Panamerican Championships in the 3,000 meter steeplechase and earned gold at the 2020 Pan Am Cross Country Cup in Victoria, BC. She is the Canadian record holder for the steeplechase with her 9:29.82 best, and she just got married in September to John Rasmussen, national level Olympic distance triathlete. First off, Jen, congratulations. You and John Rasmussen got married this summer.
Yeah, so just actually a few weeks ago, we had originally planned to get married in Quebec, but with everything that happened this year, it just kind of made sense that we would still get married.
Okay, so the last time you and I did this was at the Pan Am Cross Country Cup, which you won. You ran a fantastic race at Bear Mountain, and you really took over that last lap. It was just such a phenomenal looking race on your part with those giant hills. And so what have you done? Obviously you have to keep generally fit, but what have you been able to do? Because the pandemic struck right after that in terms of social distancing and that. What have you been able to do all spring, all fall, all summer, and now we're into fall?
I think it's been, it has been challenging for everyone. After Pan Am's, I was so happy that I got that race in. For me, that was really special, and having just moved to Victoria and then have like the hometown support was even cooler. I think since then we actually spent a lot of time then building up our base, and then I tested it out a few times this summer. We did a few time trials and such, just to kind of see working with my new team how we could get ready for future events. And so we did a lot of just new things in terms of training. So for example, I headed onto the track and had heavy track sessions at the same time as having strength and conditioning sessions simultaneously. So we really tested different elements, and then I also tested my distance. Running 10Ks was in the past has not exactly been my favorite thing or something that I've ever done. But this year we actually, we took a different approach to it, and doing distance running actually became increasingly something that was just really fun. So I think throughout the pandemic, we just kind of saw all kinds of different things, and hopefully those will, I'll be able to put those into play if races do come up. And if not, then, we'll keep working on different skills. I think as an athlete, you're always trying to improve different elements of your capabilities. And so that's kind of how we've been progressing, is just focusing on ways that we can improve until time comes when we can put that into play and see how that performance comes out. And after Pan Am's last year, I'm pretty confident in my team and my strengths and my teammates, and just everything that we've built out here and that I've built out throughout my career. So really looking forward to whenever that day comes when I can put that to test.
The Canadian record in the 5,000, bear with me for a second, the Canadian record in the 5,000 meter by Gabriela Debus-Stafford is 14:44.42. Your Canadian record in the 3,000 meter steeplechase, according to the IAAF scoring tables, is just a little behind that, but close and within striking distance. And of course, is a little bit longer of a race. It seems the longer you go, the faster you are. I know what your 800 meter time is. And so
I don't know what my 800 meter time is, so that's good.
So any chance you're looking at, because the time also correlates, according to scoring tables, to Natasha Wodak's 10,000 meter record. So there's a couple of records there that could be within striking distance for you. is there, no disrespect to the 3,000 meter steeplechase, it's a great event, and you're great at it, but is there a chance that you would look at the 5,000 and the 10,000 seriously?
I don't know. Yeah, we last year when the pandemic started, we were just about ready to gear up to actually run a 5K on the track and test my abilities there. Gabby is incredibly strong, so even coming close to her record, and Natasha's, even coming close to their records on the track, it's going to take a lot of, like, that's a lot of talent and mental ability and strength that. I'm not sure I was quite there. I was just ready to try and run a 5K, and to even come close to their time would be incredible, and it would be a dream. So I think, just focusing on what I can do and how I can do it best. And that was always kind of the thing with the steeplechase was, it's just really my favorite event because it's just so fun. And so as long as you're having fun with the events, I think then you can kind of reach out for that next level. And there's still a lot of unfinished business in the steeplechase that I want to see come through. So I'll see what I can do in the steeple first, and then but if I get the opportunity to run a 5K or 10K, I don't know if I could do 10K on the track. 10K on the road is about as long as I can do, but if I could do a 5K on the track, that I would just have fun with it. And I mean, there's so many talented ladies in Canada that I'm sure I'd be happy to just be able to run with them.
Keep in mind now that in the 10,000, you don't actually have to keep track of the laps. You just have to wait for that bell.
Is that how you run it? I don't know. I've never run it, so I guess that's good to know.
Laps is a lot. Okay, so you made the final in Rio, 3-time world senior. You're a 2-time youth, I think, and ran indoors as well, world indoors. But 3-time world, and of course an Olympian. You have at least 3, if not more, of the fastest all-time times for a Canadian. What is left in the 3,000 meter steeplechase for you?
Yeah, I've made Olympic final. I've gone to the final twice now in at World Championships. I have never been able to do the semifinal final thing. It's every time I get to the final, I run kind of medium par, not where I would want to be. And so I think, I've been extremely fortunate to make it to the final. And every time I get to the final, that's where I almost kind of haven't been able to put things through. So now that's been something that we've been working for a few years now. And I think, with all of the changes that I made over the past couple of years, we've really focused on, technical ability in the end, and being able to come back, and then now even they've spread out the dates, so you do actually get an extra day of recovery from semifinal to final. And so all of these little elements that have come into play really do benefit me. And to be fair, at the Olympic final, I was so new to the final that it was just like I was just blown away just having made it. And then in London, I got sick in the final, so I was hardly breathing. I was breathing like I sounded like someone who had smoked their whole life, even though I have never smoked, and I just had a really bad lung infection. So and then this year in Doha, I was obviously dealing with we were moving out west, and there was a lot of things going on. So I was just perhaps wasn't exactly where I wanted to be when I presented myself to the line. And I think that's something that I would love to be able to present myself to the line with, everything that I have. And I think I can run I know I can run a lot faster than 9:30. And I think I'm the most consistent 9:30 runner in the world. So I'm looking forward to breaking that barrier significantly and bringing it down into the teens if I can, like perform as well as I can in practice on a day of performance. So
9:28.82, I think is the number, is it not?
9:29.82. Yeah. Yeah. I'm coming. My agent has once done the math that I've hit around 9:30 or 9:30, like from 9:32 to 9:29, probably about at least 15 times. So.
Oh, wow. So you're really good at that.
Yeah, really, really awesome at hitting that point. But yeah, we'll see if we can get faster in that final. And I know I can do it. I just have to put it into play on that day. So.
What is that feeling like? You're on the start line. It's the final. The world is watching, and you're going to go against the best in the world, lots of East Africans. And the gun goes, and you've already raced really well to get there, like the day before or 2 days before. So what is that moment like for you?
And not much different than any other race, I guess, is how I would describe it. But at the same time, it is the most important race that you've run that until then. I think of it a lot as when I was a kid and I was standing up on the line and starting my first cross country race. You are as nervous as you've ever been, but at the same time, there is that like feeling of calm and that you're ready and you've done all this work and as a kid you just have that unbearing confidence. So, but as an adult, that comes through in times when you've done all that work and you're ready and you're so ready for it. And so I think, the fact that the world is watching, you don't really think about that. And you belong on that line because, you made it there. So I think same as when you're a kid, you just stand on the line because you have a spot and then you start and yeah, you give it your all. And some days, that really comes through. And for me, I still feel that there's another step to this whole thing. So we're working towards that. And I hope that it'll be this year and that we'll get to race at the Olympics. But if not, there will be other championships and stuff in the future. And so we'll keep working towards that.
Well, the Japanese are saying that they're going to make it happen come heck or high water. So a lot of money invested in that, as you know, and so I think we'll see some version of it. If professional sports like Major League Baseball and the National Football League and the National Hockey League can go with crowdless, the TV revenues are so huge that I think they could probably get away with it in Tokyo 2020.
Like it's been great to see that sports have taken things on and have been able to compete. And I mean, even in athletics, we saw this summer some events take place and internationally. So I think there are some examples out there that we can now look at for when they're organizing events. And I hope that they'll go through and that we'll be able to compete, because I know, everywhere around the world there are elite athletes who are eager and ready to go. We also have to recognize that our world is in a state that it's never been in before. And so, you have to give yourself that opportunity to make it, for it to be okay as well, even if they don't go, and recognize that, this is a whole new thing for everyone. I think most athletes are quite optimistic that there will be some opportunities this summer because, we have seen now some sports have success with their bubbles. Or
the garden one-offs were kind of cool to watch with the javelin, the pole vault and all that, or high jump. But we can't have that in the Olympics. It's got to be in the stadium. You have to be there. All the athletes have to be in the same place. But listen, you're like a true Canadian. We talked about this at Pan Am's post-race. Born and raised in New Brunswick, lived in Guelph, one of the epicenters of running in Canada. You lived in, I think it was either the Yukon or Northwest Territories. And now you're here in Victoria, BC. So I asked you this in February, but you'd only been here for a month or two. So now that you've been nearly a year and you're married and all that, how are you liking it? Are you going to stick around?
For the foreseeable future, we'll be here for a while. So I mean, I loved growing up in the Maritimes. It's an incredible place. Unfortunately, I was not able to return this year because of in part because of the quarantine mandatory bubble. So I wasn't able to go back, but luckily my parents were able to come out for the wedding, so we got to see them then. And then yeah, living in Ontario throughout university was it was an incredible experience, and also very different from growing up in New Brunswick. And but just so many wonderful people in Ontario. And then yeah, living up north is another experience. It's not for the faint of heart. People who live up there are yeah, they're incredibly invincible, and they faced a lot of things, but it's one of them being the weather. And and yeah, living up there taught me a lot about life, and also how large Canada is. So I don't know, I still have a few provinces and territories that I haven't visited. So when I was up in the Northwest Territories, that's only a fragment of Canada, and there's still whole side of it that I haven't even explored. So yeah, still a lot of Canada to explore if I'm going to become like the wholeheartedly Canadian. But for now, we're sticking to Victoria. We've got, I've been training with Hilary Stellingworth here, and I've gotten in for a few sessions with the bikes, but also training with my teammate Kate Ayers, and then working with my team, my other coach Joël Bourgeois, who's still in Quebec, and talking with him regularly, and then working a little bit out of the West Hub. So I really got the best of all worlds, because yeah, I've got a setup for everything, and the Victoria weather is really hard to beat anywhere else in Canada. So it has made training just impeccable. And I think the trail system is a bit underrated out here. There's so many trails, and I mean, for the first couple of months we were running in a different place every day, and it felt like you were just taking in a whole different view of the landscape, one day at a time. So still working out that whole puzzle, but loving living on the island for now.
Yeah, well, speaking of the trails, I think I did an article on this a long time ago, but I think there was something like 750 kilometers of urban trail. I'm not sure if that's the number, but it was such a big number that I got questioned on it, and we checked with the Capital Regional District, and it was accurate. But there was a challenge this summer with the local running club, the mountain challenge. So how many peaks can you run in the 90 days of summer? And people ran as many as just over 100 peaks, just from the greater Victoria area, from Sault to Sydney. So it tells you there's a lot of trails, and of course they're popular.
A lot of mountains too. Yeah, you're never going quite flat. You're always going up or down. But from someone who grew up out east, I'm used to all kinds of adventures. So yeah, just really happy with the move, and we're loving it. And I mean, John's training with Triathlon Canada, the National Development Center there. So it's been a perfect balance for both of us, and in our careers, and where we are right now in life. So
yeah, so one of his heroes growing up was Simon Whitfield. When he was very young, John had a chance to watch him win the Sydney Olympic gold medal, and of course here he is in the same town now with Simon. So that's a pretty cool thing. Now, yeah, like you mentioned, you've got the bikes to train with here and there. Must be great for them, though. They have you to demonstrate what it takes to be a very competitive athlete. Vic City Elite at Pisces with Athletics Canada West Hub, and Heather Henniger and Jeff Harris. And then, of course, you have the Stellingworths, as you mentioned, Hillary, and of course, Trent. So what a great environment I'm being a bit of an ambassador for my hometown, but
yeah, and I mean, you haven't even, there's Jim Finlayson, who I've been so lucky to meet and to run with, and he's paced me in a few workouts. So what an incredible athlete. and human. And yeah, there's so many. I think there's so many people that I can't even start naming them, because yeah, every corner you turn, you run into someone who used to be an athlete or at one point had this record, and it's just so incredible. I think the history of this community is just so deep, and really, like, I'm just starting to unpackage it. I mean, there's so many key elements of the story that I don't even know. So it has been really incredible to learn this new story, and because I was totally unaware of just how deep the community, the running community and the sport community in Victoria is. So we're pretty lucky. And yeah, John, he actually trained out here with Simon in 2012. So he got to meet Simon back then, and we haven't run into him recently, but maybe one day.
Well, first of all, you need a stand-up paddleboard to find Simon Whitfield.
Oh, okay. We don't have that, so yeah, that's probably it.
One time I took my touring kayak down to the beach, and I'm moving along, and this guy on a stand-up paddleboard just goes by me. He's got a wake behind him, and we're on the ocean. And it's Simon, right? Simon, what are you doing? And he's flying out to these islands that the orcas go by quite often and back. He does this like every day, and what a great athlete. But yeah, so that's great. You're immersed into the community. It's great to have you here. But let's talk about, to finish this up, I guess, let's talk about, even though we don't really have a good idea of what's available for racing coming up, what do you have sort of planned up that maybe you can get done?
No specific races. We actually have a few time trials that are lined up, just in terms of like cross country mode, to have cross country races in general. And then I think BC Champs is still up, but we'll see if we're able to run BC Champs cross country or not. But in the meantime, I've been busy just training and getting ready for when we do have races, and also just reaching out to community members and talking with other athletes and figuring out what they're doing and strategizing and stuff. I think it is going to become increasingly difficult to travel, whereas like in the past, you could just hop on a plane and go anywhere in the world. So I think, we're just getting ready for how it's going to be training from home for an extended amount of time and such. And I've got a few other projects that I'm working on. So got to keep your brain busy and stuff, and got to keep active and involved in the community and such. And so I think even though we didn't have an Olympic year this year, it also gave a lot of people the opportunity to grow in many different ways and to showcase that athletes do perform every 4 years, but around that there are so many different aspects to life. And I think that has been really cool to learn so much about these athletes around the world. And as you say, like the garden championships and stuff like that, seeing people in their like homegrown gyms and people swimming in their garages and such, all of these different things that you get to see into these people's lives, how even though when we step on the stage and we represent our countries internationally, we are kind of these like superheroes, but then at home, we're really just regular people trying to live our lives.
Actually, so one more question. Sorry, you thought you can escape, but you just mentioned something when you said garden. It reminded me that you, on your, I think, Twitter account, refer to yourself as an environmental nerd. So what does that mean?
It means that I'm super I did my undergrad in environmental sciences, grew up, just being very environmentally conscious. I'm a representative for POW, so Protect Our Winters. So I'm an athlete ambassador for them. We are in our lives just quite environmentally conscious, but I also have done a significant amount of research into, the environment, climate change, all kinds of different aspects of of our working earth and its surroundings. So that's probably why I would consider myself an environmental nerd. But yeah, haven't been in school for a few years, so I've taken online courses and stuff since then, but quite busy organizing an event that will take place just mid-November online, but is the Women's Running Summit. So it'll be held virtually, and it originally was kind of meant as an event to bring in all kinds of women from across New Brunswick to celebrate running and learn about the sport of running. Kind of anyone from, like, I just ran for the first time ever for 10 minutes outside of my house, from the elites who have been running for a really long time. So yeah, that's kind of been my main project this year, has been working on the Women's Running Summit. And so more information on that will probably be launched at the end of this week, and that will be kind of that's the event that I've been working on quite a bit this year. That's kind of been my project. So less time for environmental research and more time spent on trying to reach out to women. And the pandemic has seen an increase in women losing their jobs or taking care of their children and stuff at home. So I think it'll be good to give women that opportunity to relax for whether it's an hour or the full day event, and enjoy just talking or listening to people talk about running. So that's kind of been my main workforce right now.
Okay, get that to us again, and then we'll close this out.
So don't worry about closing it out, mate. It's all good. You can ask me all the questions all day.
Okay, well, if you're gonna say that, you're gonna ask for trouble. I can talk to you all day. Can you get that to me again then? So when is the Women's Running Summit, and where will that information be launched at?
The information will all be launched on Athletics New Brunswick at the end of this week. So anyone who's interested can find that there. It will be opened up to athletes across Canada this year, because female athletes who are across Canada, because do have that access to technology, and it won't be in a specific location in New Brunswick. However, it's an event that is in collaboration with Athletics New Brunswick and Run NB. So all the information can be found there. The dates are November 13th and 14th. And so November 13th in the evening, and then November 14th during the day. All the times are scheduled in Atlantic time, so it's quite early in the morning for Pacific times, but if you're an early riser, then perfect. And yeah, there's a whole bunch of different sessions and things and prizes, but all of that information will be released at the end of the week. And so anyone who's keen or interested, you can either send me a message or look out for the information being launched on Athletics New Brunswick.
So Jen, thank you for this, and good luck with all your training and racing plans going forward.
Thanks so much, Chris, and have a great day.
Thanks.